Hi, David. This is Tatiana, nurse practitioner, Minora Nursing Home. The Kanyan condition stable, but it's still wheezing. And Dr. Gorelka wants to start prednisone, like steroid, remove inflammation. And she's still on antibiotics, oxygen, nebulizer therapy, and we added some steroid by mouth, like tablets, for wheezing inflammation. Thank you. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
So much I can smell my own breath. My baby left me, my best friend's not at home. Can't get that woman off my mind. I've never been the broody kind, but there's still one thing makes me come alive. Yeah, for a drive.
The following podcast is rated D for dumb. You're listening to Dumbing It Down with Dave, the fastest podcast on earth. Listen to Dave commute to and from work on the New York State Thruway in his 2008 Kia Rio LX. He talks about pragmatism, truth, happiness, and the search for it all. Join Dave as he asks and tells you how life ought to be. And now, here's Dave.
Well, hello everybody. Welcome to Dumbing It Down with Dave. My name is Dave Canyon, and I am here to dumb it down with you. You ready to dumb it down with me? All right. Well, that's it. It's always a concern. I want to make sure we're on the same page. And I really appreciate you guys tuning in and supporting the show and doing what you do, like Alex Exum supports the show by creating that intro for me so many years ago and letting me use it continuously without any royalties or any other reasons. He just lets me use it. So that's Alex Exum, ALEXEXUM.com, with his live talk radio show every Tuesday, 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Western time. I can't speak for Mountain and Central. It gets too confusing. But anyway, I know it's that. So anyway, hello everybody, and thanks of course to Hal and Philly with that great song, Going for a Drive. And Hal and Philly does It's Easy When You Know How. You can find it on Spreaker, as well as many other places, and also Tales of the Road Warriors. He's got his last episode was pretty interesting with a singer, a woman singer who's an interesting person. It was an interesting interview. I enjoyed it. I always do. Tales of the Road Warriors with Hal and Philly. And so that's it. Let's do the show. We're going to wrap it up. Mom's gone. She's been gone since April 18th. She's passed away. She's on to the great beyond, or whatever your beliefs are. Everybody has different beliefs, and that's where she's at. I want to thank you all for your support. For those of you who left me all different comments, personal comments, show comments. I got a phone call from one person who I haven't heard from in years because another person listens to the show or sees me on Facebook. Couldn't wait to tell him, you got to, Dave's mom. Listen, I appreciate you spreading the word any which way you can. But let me just say this. And I don't mean to sound ungrateful, but let me just say this. You should be telling all your friends all the time about Dumbing It Down with Dave. I can't have relatives dying every week, so you call people and say, hey, Dave's mom died. You can listen to it on Facebook. Don't wait for my dad to die. Start telling people about the show now. All right? I'll start making up people. Uncle Vito, Aunt Edna, did I have an Aunt Edna? I might have had an aunt. She might have been a cousin. There was an Edna in my family. Yeah, Milton, Bernie, I can go down the list. I got a whole bunch of Jewish names I could throw out there. Uncle Ira. I could go down the list. Stop waiting. Don't wait for people that die, so I got to have this show, and you go telling people. Just tell them now. Let's celebrate Dumbing It Down with Dave while everybody's alive. And I've said that in the past, not on this show so much, I don't think. Maybe I have. We seem to over-celebrate when people die. We under-celebrate when they're alive. We don't appreciate it. And then you go to a funeral and what happens? Oh, we should stay in touch. Sorry I haven't spoken to you in so long. Sorry I haven't called. Sorry I didn't return your phone call. Oh, I didn't know that you were here. I would have called you. You could have went to the Yankee game with me. Whatever. I'm just making things up. That never happened to me. Usually I give you an experience that actually happened to me. Oh, you really have grown. Yeah, we haven't seen each other 20 years. What do you want me to do? You want me to stay 6? You want me to stay 12? Anyway. So, the point being, celebrate Dumbing It Down with Dave every week, twice a week. I'm on milehighradio.com on Mondays at 11 a.m. Haven't plugged that in a while. milehighradio.com. Mondays, every Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, which would be like the East Coast of the United States. And I'm also on Crooked River Radio. Crooked River Radio, Mondays. For some reason, they like internet radio stations like putting me on Mondays. Mondays at 8 p.m. 8 p.m. I'm also, I got to put a link to this in the show notes. A new link. We have a new link. I'm also on the I-95. That's the letter I, hyphen 95, like the interstate. I-95 Sports Radio Network, I think I'm on. I think it's the radio network. It's either I-95 Sports Radio Network or the I-95 network. It doesn't matter. Radio, it doesn't matter. There's not too many that I think that are called I-95. Anyway, so that's like a sister station to Mile High, HIRadio.com. So I am now on that. 95, I-95. I think mostly earlier in the week, like Mondays and or Tuesdays, like a way to start your day, like 8 a.m., something like that. It's not a set in stone schedule. Anyway, but you can always find the show everywhere. 28, 29 different platforms. Apple, iHeart, iTunes, I don't know. All over the place, whatever. Breaker, Castro, Podcast, PM, AM, Player FM, whatever. Spreaker, of course. Did I mention iTunes? It's actually called Apple Podcast. So you can hear me on internet radio stations if you're at a cubicle. You can hear me on demand. 219 episodes. This is 220, I think. We're getting really close to 300. I really got to start making preparations. So, yeah, celebrate people while they're alive. I'm not trying to give you a message, hey, some somber message. Listen, don't wait until they die. Just celebrate the show. Some of you are really good at it. Some of you do the Twitter thing. Some of you do the Facebook thing. But don't wait for somebody to die and I do a podcast. Hey, you better listen to his show. His mom died. Just do it every show. My Uncle Joe is not feeling well. He has stage 4, something bad. I don't know what it is. So, I want to send out my best wishes to Uncle Joe. Stage 4, something or other. He's on the edge, folks. He'll be any day now. You might want to tell your friends to tune into episode 220. Uncle Joe, man. Going down. So that's it. Who else in my family is on the edge? Yeah, I got, you know what? I got like 40, 50 people in my family all across the United States. They're really all on the edge. So, like we got coronas, we got heart attacks, we got diabetes. I got like 40 people. The next 40 shows, I will be celebrating the passing of another family member. So you can go call. Oh, you better listen, Uncle Joe died. Anyway, I know, I sound bitter, right? I sound like I'm unappreciative. I just find it interesting that bad news will motivate people to speak up. That is a true thing. The show always comes back to human behavior. Bad news gets people to speak up. Well, Dave, this whole entire series of 219 episodes is you sharing bad news, which is my life. No, I share good news, I think. I'd be hard-pressed. I'm not going back into the archives to find any good news, but the world is a crazy, strange place. And I try to give you interesting. I don't think I share bad news with you. That might have been the worst news ever. Except for the people that go, well, she's in a better place. I find that interesting too. Oh, I'm so sorry about your mom, but she is in a better place. I'm like, well, then let's just change the sentence. Let's say it the way you want to say it. Hey, Mom died. That's great. It's great. That's good. So she's no longer in pain. No longer in pain. That's fantastic. So your father doesn't have to sit by the bedside 8, 10, 12 hours a day? Nope. He's free to go. Well, that's liberating. I'm sure he's loving it. Maybe he'll start going to the Brooklyn Psychos. Well, they don't do Brooklyn Cyclones during the COVID. But you know what I'm saying? Hey, maybe he'll explore a side of his life he hasn't explored in 50, 60 years. I think they've been married for 60 years. Yeah, he's single now. Single, ready to have shingles. I don't know what he's going to do. I haven't spoken to him since the funeral, by the way. The funeral was on she passed on the 18th, 19th, 20, 20. Yeah, on the 22nd. I haven't spoken to my father since April 22nd. Well, he actually called me that night. Couldn't believe it. Called me and I had no idea what he was talking about. He was rambling on. I had to tell him, Dad, I got to go. I don't know what you're talking about. I got to go. And I dropped the call. I said, I got to go, Dad. He was babbling on about something. I called my sister. I texted my sister. She called him and said, I'll straighten him out. So, yeah, I haven't spoken because I'm so exhausted. I didn't want to talk to him. I'm so, the whole experience of all the details not being filled out and being left to me to decide, which I talked about in episode 218. Folks, again, pre-need, PRE-need. Call your funeral home, local, whatever. Don't spend crazy money. Get the basic package now. Learn. I don't know how it works. I don't know how you pay for it. You have a payment plan. I don't know what you do. I don't think you have to cough up the entire $6,000 to $10,000 now. I don't know. My father paid for this one. It was a credit card. All done. But I would have appreciated not making 20 to 30 phone calls and having my phone ring constantly during the day, during the afternoon, at night. During my bereavement leave, I got to speak to Joe and Andrew and Chris, 3 different people, while they have me on speakerphone, because there's a coronavirus and I'm hearing all the business of the office. I hear Mr. Horowitz walk in. Hey, Andrew, Mrs. Ishkovitz is outside. She wants to know what's going to happen. And then Selma comes walking in, and Seba, and all these people. I'm on speakerphone with a funeral home because I'm making last-minute arrangements for my mom because nobody listened to me 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. That's okay. Cross that bridge when we get to it. That's the family flag that we fly. You know how people have an American flag, or they have, the POW, MIA flag, prisoner of war, missing in action, state flag of New York, or the family crest. Ours is, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I've already taken that down. I'm flying at half-mast. I took it down. I put it back up. It says, you will cross that bridge, it says. I crossed off we. It says you now. You will cross that bridge when we get to it. You being me, Dave. Anyway. I love it. Oh, by the way, thanks to Tatiana. That was the first phone call you heard at the beginning of the show. Hello, Mr. Canyon. Your mother, prednisone, steroids, tablets, whatever. Now that I've heard it 50 times, I kind of feel like I'm semi-fluent in Russian or whatever language she's speaking, whatever broken English language she is. So, yeah, unbelievable. I think that's everything. So a couple of things that as we're going to wrap up this My Mom Died trilogy. By the way, I am the only podcast in the world. I haven't looked it up. There's about 1 million. So if we break it up, if everybody takes, I don't know, there's 10 of you. So if you all take about 100,000 episodes, maybe, we could do some research. Dumbing It Down with Dave, episode 218, 219, and now 220, is the only My Mom Died trilogy on the internet right now. You will not find that anywhere. Not Joe Rogan, not Mark Maron, not Alec Baldwin, nobody. I'm the only one doing a My Mom Died trilogy. So be appreciative of that. Usually you get a dumb cast and a car cast and a podcast. All right? Now you're getting a dead cast and a car cast and a dumb cast and a podcast. You're getting 4 for 1. And a trilogy. So the last 3 episodes are basically 12 episodes. I mean, really, why are you going to wait till somebody dies to tell them about how great the show is or how you should listen? I don't know if the guy told him the show was great. He said, oh, Dave's mom died. You should whatever. Again, I'm not bitter about that. It's kind of like that double-edged sword when my buddy at work, Jeff, said, hey, you're on Facebook? Whatever he said to me, I'm like, I don't know, maybe. Goes, oh, yes, you are. You have a podcast? I don't know. Oh, yes, you do. Whatever. And then, of course, now the whole world knows I do a podcast at my job. The one place I didn't want anybody to know about my show. But it turns out, a whole bunch of people say they listen. I know, because I see their goofy faces. They go, hey, don't get down with Dave. Because, that's the name of my shirt, moron. Oh, yeah. Oh, don't get down with Dave. Well, I listened the other day. It's good. I'm like, wow, you don't sound like you listen. Yeah, where did you hear it? Because now I got to push buttons. Where did you hear it? On you. Oh, the one guy said to me, he saw my podcast. He said the word saw. I'm not mistaken. So where did you see it? He goes, well, the only place you can see it is YouTube. So, did you see it on YouTube? No, Facebook. I go, oh, you saw the post on Facebook and you clicked on it and you listened to it on Facebook. All right. Okay. And of course, I say thank you. They go, don't forget, click like and subscribe. Share it with your friends. Don't wait till somebody dies. Tell them right away. If you like it, people should like it too, right? I should be up to, 90 listens a show, 100 listens a show, 200 shows, 200, whatever. So, no, I'm not ungrateful that anybody at my job told anybody whatever, and I'm not ungrateful that this other guy called another friend I haven't heard from in years and told him blah, 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 whatever. It's just, I find it fascinating what people do. I love human behavior. No, I don't. I don't love human behavior. I don't love it. I shouldn't have said that. I find human behavior interesting. I find my own behavior interesting as well. It's not like I'm the only one that's judging other people. I judge myself. I always take a shot at myself before I take a shot at anybody else. And I'm not taking shots. I'm just saying I find it interesting. What? Dave's mother died? I gotta tell people. All right. Anyway, I did a show called My Boss Just Got Fired. Maybe you should tell everybody, oh, Dave's boss got fired. I should do a show called My Boss Just Quit, because I just had a boss quit. How about, hey, my company just filed Chapter 11. Well, I got to call everybody, let everybody know that Dave's business will file Chapter 11. Hey, we just had this big conglomerate, this big milk cooperative buy my company. Oh, I should tell everybody. Oh, somebody just bought Dave's company. Oh, my God. I just got a steel roof on my house. Oh, I should tell everybody Dave got a steel roof on his house. Oh, God. Anyway. Yeah, I know. I want you to share the show. I just don't want you to wait till somebody dies. I find that's the thing that really is rubbing my craw. Spreading of the bad news. By the way, I want you to guys know that I did not post anything on Facebook that wasn't my podcast. And I think I only posted it in the Dumbing It Down with Dave group. I don't think I posted it on my page. I don't remember now. But I don't think I did, only because I don't want 500. I don't even know how many friends I have anymore. Does Facebook tell you that anymore? I don't even know. I haven't looked. But I don't want 800, 250, whatever, phony, my condolences, sad face, prayer hands. Oh, folks, with the applause hands and the prayer hands and the cross and the Jewish star and what do you call those emojis? Bitmojis? Or please type words. Oh, I know. How about this? Call me. But I don't really want that to happen. I don't really want anybody to call me. But don't do Facebook. I haven't called it Facebook in a long time. For a lot of you who back in the day remember, I used to call it Facebook all the time. But people I haven't heard from in 20 years. Oh, sorry for my condolences. You know what? It's okay. You know what? I haven't heard from you in 10, 20 years. I don't hear from you another 10, 20 years. Whatever. Just listen to the podcast. Click like and subscribe. Prayer hands. Pictures of... What is this? Color forms? When did Facebook turn into color forms? Oh, I know. I'll put this over here next to Dave's head. Prayer hands. Like heartbroken. Sad face. God, I hate all that. I really do. Anyway, call me. I don't really want you to call, but I'm saying call me. You know what? I should have set up a condolence phone hotline. I got a condolence gift. I posted that on Facebook. That's kind of a way. Nobody asked me, wait a minute, what's a condolence gift? Nobody asked. Oh, I liked it. It was my buddy Mark got me the Davy and Goliath complete 72 episode box set. He's such a knucklehead. So he bought me the thank you, Mark. He knows. I already spoke to him. But he bought me the entire... I posted the picture on my Dumbing It Down with Dave... on my Dave Canyon... That I posted on my Dave Canyon page. I think I also posted in the Dumbing It Down with Dave Facebook group. So now I'm going to binge watch all 72 episodes. This weekend. 72 episodes of Claymation. Davey and his dog Goliath. What was his sister's name? Sally? And I think Mom and Dad were Mom and Dad. And I think he had one black friend who was in only a few episodes. But, from what I understand, lived in the same neighborhood as Davey. So that's good. I don't know if he had an Asian friend. I got to watch those 7. I think I'm going to do is starting with episode 221. I'm going to watch one episode at a time. And then I'll do a quick review. I might have a new segment called the Davey and Goliath, Dumbing It Down with Dave, Davey and Goliath review. And I'm going to do it all in sequential order. Episode 1, episode 2, all the way up to the final tearful goodbye, which I don't know if they actually ever had that. So how about that? Stay tuned for the Dumbing It Down with Dave, Davey and Goliath episode review. I really should start a whole new podcast called Davey and Goliath. I bet you people would tune in. And everybody we'd have a watch party. During this whole Corona thing, we'll have a watch party. We'll all watch Dave and Goliath together. It's probably illegal. Probably get in a lot of trouble for it. It'll make me famous. And then you can call somebody and say, Dave got in trouble for showing Dumbing It Down with Dave, with Dave and Goliath. You should watch the show. You should listen to it. It's on Zoom now. Yeah, okay, anyway. I sound bitter, right? I'm not. I really am not bitter. I just find it funny. All right. A couple of things before we wrap it up. We wrap up the My Mom Died trilogy. The only My Mom Died trilogy in the entire internet universe. So everybody take 100,000 episodes, all 10 of you, 10 of my listeners, and let's go research it. I bet you nobody's doing a My Mom Died trilogy. Okay, this is part 3. We're going to wrap it up. So 2 things that I left out in my babbling haste the last episode or 2. After I caught my mom, by the way, here's what's going to happen. Episode 221, which I'm going to do tomorrow because today's Saturday. Did I mention today was Saturday? Did I mention it was the 2nd of May? 3 days from Cinco de Mayo? Big day. And it's really sunny out in New York. I'm southbound the New York State Thruway. I'm at the 129-mile marker, which is just north of Coxsackie. I'm just north of the New Baltimore rest area as well. It is sunny out. It is so sunny out. And it could be my imagination, folks, but without all this traffic on the road because nobody's commuting, I'm telling you, I'm going up and down New Jersey Turnpike. There's no planes flying out of Newark Airport and Kennedy. Well, I don't know how many planes are flying, but you don't see the traffic like you normally do. And everywhere I go, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I could be on the Thruway or the Turnpike 8 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. It doesn't matter. It always looks like somewhere between 2 and 4 in the morning. It's really kind of, it's pre-apocalyptic, pre-post-apocalyptic or something like that. I think the skies are cleaner. I heard a story that one of the ozone layer holes? Yeah. One of the holes in the ozone layer that they detected last year, it actually healed and closed up. I didn't even know that was possible. That a hole in the ozone layer could actually close and heal. I should cite the article somewhere, but I read it, but I didn't save it, so I can't cite it. But I've heard other people talking about it, so I guess it's true. A hole in the ozone layer actually healed. But you look up in the sky, it looks like a patch. You can tell. You can see the trim. What was I talking about? So, a couple of things here. I can't wait to listen back. How did I get into the ozone layer? What happened? Oh, yeah, because the skies are really clean. It seems like the skies are cleaner. Somebody told me that California has had X amount of days in a row, first time since they measured air quality in California, they've had good air, excellent air, or good quality, whatever, I don't know. But you go down the Turnpike, man, I've never seen New York City. It always looks that clear after it rains. Like right after it rains, man, New York City is spectacular from the Turnpike. For the New Jersey Turnpike, because it's on the other side of the Hudson River. But now it's like more often than not, I look over and go, wow, look at New York. It's clean as a whistle. Look at the sky. It's really quite amazing. No jet fuel. Look at all that jet fuel we haven't burned in the last 50-some days. All this auto fuel, the fossil fuel we haven't burned. I'm assuming smokestacks all over the country as the economy comes to a grinding halt. You know, we're going to have to put the country on a coronavirus ventilator. They got to build a ventilator for the economy. Did you know that? Okay. I think Fauci's working on that. Dr. Fauci and Trump. And the lady with the neckerchief. Are there two ladies with a neckerchief or just one? I don't know. I think I've seen two. I don't know who they are, but they always seem to be standing there and they're talking. But I haven't been paying attention. All right, so two things I didn't mention. So after I caught my mom doing what I mentioned in the previous episode, you know, being mostly scantily clad in the master bedroom with a man that I don't recognize as my father, somebody else. His name was Joe, who, by the way, had a hearing wife. I don't know how that works, but whatever. You would think, like, all right, listen, dude, we got caught. You ain't coming back to this house. This friendship is pretty much over. Our cover is blown. No, that wasn't said. He came back to the house again, and again, and again, and again. Right in my face. Right in my face. Okay. I mean, you think he would step down. Hey, listen, Sonia, guess what? It's probably not a good idea I show my face in this house. You know, it's probably going to be upsetting to your son. You think? I'm gonna be the big man here, you know, and I'm gonna stay away. I mean, you know, at least for a while. No. Next day, 2 days later, 5 days later. And by the way, he eventually became my sister's driving instructor. I found that out. How you like that? I mean, I knew that about a year or two ago, but yeah, that was my sister's driving instructor. Why wasn't my father teaching my sister how to drive? Where was he? Oh yeah, ignoring us, working. I mean, I got to give him credit. He worked. He always worked, but sometimes you got to come home, spend time with your kids, and I guess your wife. All right, 3 minutes to go. I hope you're enjoying this episode. Episode 220. Wrapping it up. We're wrapping it up. We're dumbing it down and we're wrapping it up. Wrapping it up with Dave. That's what we're doing. We're wrapping it up. Because I really don't want to talk about this anymore. It's fun for me. It's therapeutic. I don't really care. I really, you know, I didn't shed a tear at the funeral. I haven't shed a tear since. And frankly, I'm not that heartbroken. Not only is my mom in a better place, I'm in a better place. How you like that? This really worked out for me. One less person for me to have to worry about. One down, one to go. At least one to go. Probably more than one to go. The other thing was... What was the other thing? Let me see if I can remember. All right, yeah, I remember. So the other thing was this. So I stopped kissing my mom hello and goodbye. You know how you leave the house, bye mom, kiss you, love you, bye. You know how you do that? Well, I stopped doing that. Right? Because I wasn't happy with it. I was like very upset. So I stopped kissing her hello and goodbye. You'd think she'd be like, okay, I understand. Like, I'm not gonna make a big deal of it. No. Guess what? She made a big deal of it. Yeah. She's like, how come you don't kiss me hello and goodbye? I'm like, really? We got to talk about that? So, we didn't talk about it, but I said, I don't want to kiss you hello and goodbye. I don't want to. So you think she'd be like, yeah, okay. In her head, you're like, oh, I understand. I did this thing to you. You saw it. And this guy keeps coming back to the house. You didn't, he's not stepping down. You didn't tell him, she didn't tell him to stop coming. And then, and I'm not kissing her hello and goodbye because I'm upset, right? I'm 13, 14 years old. I'm upset. And then, my father got wind of it. No, that I wasn't kissing hello and goodbye. And you know what? He made a big stink about it. I mean, like, eventually he was like, he got really angry at me. And he goes, you better, like in the kitchen in front of her. She made a big stink. Like, I could have said something right there. Would have destroyed the whole family. They would have been divorced. My father would have killed the man. And I don't even know how long that went on for. I was really upset. That was one of 2 times my father forced me to do something against my will. And the other time I'll talk about it in another episode. I wasn't happy with that either. Unbelievable, these parents. Worst parents in the world. Not really. I know there's worse than that, but I would nominate them if there was a contest. If you guys ever hear of a contest, I'll nominate. They won't win, but I'll nominate them. All right, I don't want to go overtime. I always make that mistake. Hey, guys, thank you for listening and supporting. I appreciate it. Next show will be different. Bye. Thank you for listening to this episode of Dumbing It Down with Dave. Goodbye, good day, good night, good luck, good riddance, good rats, Godspeed. and great skills. Take care.